This is not a Cold War flashback. This is not a conflict from history books. This is happening right now. Tensions between the United States, Israel, and Iran have reached one of the most dangerous points in modern geopolitical history, fire. Jets are on standby, missile defense systems remain activated, naval fleets patrol some of the most. Strategic waters on Earth. There is no official declaration of war, but there is something just as dangerous: sustained escalation. One miscalculation, one missile, one wrong signal, and the Middle East could be pulled into a direct T-regional war with global consequences. This is epic fury, the confrontation between America, Israel, and Iran. There is no formal war between the United States and Iran, but there is open hostility, rising military tension, and a growing cycle of retaliation in recent months. Israeli airstrikes have targeted Iranian-linked military positions in Syria. Israel has repeatedly stated that it will not allow Iran to expand its military footprint near its borders. Iran, on the other hand, has strengthened alliances with armed groups across the region, including Hezbollah in Lebanon and militia forces in Iraq and Syria. Rocket fire from southern Lebanon into northern Israel has triggered Israeli retaliation drone. Attacks have targeted U.S. military positions in Iraq and Syria. American bases across Qatar, Bahrain, and Kuwait remain on heightened alert. Meanwhile, U.S. aircraft carriers patrol both the eastern Mediterranean and the Persian Gulf, a visible message of deterrence. Washington officially states its goal is to prevent escalation. But deterrence requires balance, and balance is fragile. Each strike invites response. Each response increases risk. This is not full-scale war, but it is a confrontation unfolding in real time. To understand the present, we have to go back decades. The hostility between the United States and Iran began in 1979 after Iran's Islamic Revolution overthrew a U.S.-backed monarchy. The new leadership in Tehran adopted a strongly anti-American position since then. Relations have been shaped by sanctions, proxy conflicts, and diplomatic breakdowns. At the center of today's crisis is Iran's nuclear program. The United States and Israel believe Iran is moving closer to nuclear weapons capability. Iran insists its nuclear development is for civilian energy use. Previous agreements attempted to limit uranium enrichment. Some were signed, some collapsed. Trust eroded. Israel views a nuclear-capable Iran as an existential threat. American officials view it as a destabilizing shift in regional power. Iran argues it has the sovereign right to develop advanced technology and defend itself. These competing narratives have fueled years of tension, and now that tension feels closer to ignition. Israel's position is clear. It will not allow Iran to establish advanced military infrastructure near Israeli territory. For years, Israeli forces have carried out targeted strikes against weapons depots and missile facilities linked to Iranian forces in Syria. Israeli leaders describe this as a preventive strategy, stopping threats before they reach their borders. But every strike carries consequences. Hezbollah, backed by Iran, possesses tens of thousands of rockets. Northern Israeli communities live under the constant possibility of escalation. Their defense systems like Iron Dome remain active, military reservists remain prepared. Israel's strategy is based on one principle: act early, act decisively, prevent larger war later. But history shows that prevention can sometimes accelerate confrontation. The United States does not officially seek war with Iran, but it maintains strong strategic ties with Israel. It also maintains military forces throughout the region, designed to protect trade routes and ensure stability. One critical choke point is the Strait of Hormuz. Nearly 20% of the world's oil passes through that narrow stretch of water. If conflict disrupts that route, oil prices surge. Global markets react. American consumers feel the impact at gas stations. That is why the U.S. Navy maintains a constant presence in the Gulf. Sanctions remain one of Washington's primary tools against Tehran, targeting banking, oil exports, and military industries. At the same time, American diplomats have repeatedly stated that diplomacy remains possible, but diplomacy requires trust, and trust is in short supply. The United States faces a delicate balancing act. Support Israel, protect American troops, deter Iran, avoid regional war. Every move must be calculated, because escalation could spiral beyond control. Even without official war, the human consequences are real. Civilians in southern Lebanon prepare for air raid sirens. Families in northern Israel maintain bomb shelters. Iranian citizens struggle under heavy economic sanctions, facing inflation and limited access to certain goods. American service members stationed abroad operate under constant alert. Parents back home watch the news carefully. War is not only measured in missiles and military hardware. It is measured in fear, in uncertainty, in disrupted lives, and if full-scale war were to break out, it would not stay contained. Energy prices would rise globally, shipping lanes could close, regional allies might be drawn in, global powers could be forced to choose sides. The ripple effects would be worldwide. Military analysts warn that the greatest danger is not a planned invasion. It is miscalculation. A strike that goes too far. A senior commander targeted. A civilian area mistakenly hit. A cyber attack crippling infrastructure. History shows that major conflicts often begin with unintended escalation. Right now, all sides publicly state they want to avoid total war, but they are preparing for it. Missile defenses remain activated, warships stay deployed, military exercises continue. The situation is tense, but controlled. The question is whether that control will hold. There is no official war between America, Israel, and Iran. But there is confrontation, there is distrust, there is rising pressure. The region stands at a crossroads. One path leads toward renewed diplomacy and de-escalation. The other leads toward wider conflict, with consequences that would reshape global power dynamics. For decades, for now, the balance remains intact, but history has shown how quickly balance can collapse. The world is watching, and what happens next may define the next chapter of the 21st century. This is Epic Fury. Stay informed, stay aware, because in today's interconnected world, no conflict is ever truly distant.